I'm trying to make this full screen though.
It says we're live, but let's see here.
Yeah, it does say that, but
All right, we are live. What's going on, everybody? We are live from the Transporter Studios here in Toronto, Canada. And joining me again is my great friend, my buddy Caesar from
life and living.
Life and Living. You didn't put your name today, Caesar.
Yeah, it's on there.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't see it.
It asked me to put it up before I got on there, but I don't know if it actually put
Okay,
a
let me remove you and add you. Let's see what happens. Hmm. Oh, there you go. Okay. Now I can see it. So
life and
this is
living.
Caesar from Life and Living, and he has a YouTube channel. He's now a YouTuber. Caesar and I went to the Freedom Convoy, well, the Freedom March in downtown Toronto last Saturday.
Right?
And Caesar, guys, so for those of you who are wondering, how do I find his channel is in the description box below. Subscribe to this chat to Caesar's channel, Life in Living. You won't be disappointed. Caesar is a great friend of mine, and he's an amazing speaker. He has a great ability to explain things and to just just to say his thoughts, and he explains it really well. As a matter of fact, he has a really great video that he brought out just a few days ago, and I saw it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like that was really good, Caesar. So thank you for bringing that video. Hopefully, some people get to see it as well.
For sure.
Yeah, Caesar, I was gonna ask you, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts to the Freedom Convoy? You came aboard last Saturday for the first time.
Yeah.
What went through your mind seeing 4,000 people marching in downtown Toronto?
To be honest with you, I thought it was exciting. I was very eager to get down there. And there's a saying that says, you don't know what somebody's been through unless you walk a mile in their shoes. And I think that was my idea for going down there and really getting different perspective, right? We always tend to listen to one side of the stories, depending on which news channel we listen to, or depending on who we talk to, or what their beliefs are. But I think part of healthy living and healthy perspective is to listen to both sides of the story. So to me, it was exciting to really see what they were doing, how they were doing it, and their approach. I think that to me, it was an experience. And honestly, I came out excited. I came out with a lot of different emotions because you get to see what different people struggle with as we're all in this together.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So we have the first viewers connecting now. Cindy Gordon, hello from Winfield, Kansas. Welcome, Cindy. Um, Yeah, right now we have our special guest here, Caesar, great friend. Description box below, that's where you'll find his channel from Life and Living. He took some video footage from the convoy or from the march back last Saturday, and I believe this next Saturday I'm gonna be there again, and I don't think Caesar will be able to make it, but. It's a shame, but
But
yeah, he
but I'll
lives far, guys. He
yeah, but
lives far.
I'll try to film or capture some footage of the freedom convoy that might be taking place in my city, here in Stratford,
Okay.
Ontario, because last week my wife was telling me that they had a whole rally happening here. They had a whole march they closed up some streets, and I thought if I can't make it down there, then at least I can get something up here and get different perspective from up here as well, right?
Right on. Caesar also joined us at the at the rally of I guess the protest for the Ukrainians. And that day we were outside. This was Friday, last Friday, and that was outside the Ukrainian consulate here in
Yeah,
Toronto, Canada. And man, what a moving, like there was a moving moment there where man, they were singing like the national
yeah,
anthem of Ukraine. And honestly, man, that moment right there just brought a tear to my eye.
yeah.
Just seeing everybody, um and how they're in protest of this, um of what's happening in Ukraine, and the attack that the Russians are making onto the Ukraine. And it's so sad. It's so sad to see that. But we're gonna talk a little bit about that
Yeah.
in a little bit. Um, what did you think of that convoy, Caesar? Of
The
that rally?
Which one, the Ukraine one
The
or?
Ukraine, yeah, the Ukrainian.
Well, it when I was there, it took a while to kind of get my emotions together, because I understand why those people are out there. I understand their frustration, the anger that they're experiencing, because it almost seems like this war came out of nowhere. And it was kind of something that hit them by surprise. You hear rumors, you hear things, but you never really expect it to become a reality. And that's something that did happen for the Ukrainian people. What they maybe feared the most was exactly what started to happen around maybe 7, 8 days ago. And it's a nightmare for them. I can't even imagine what their relatives are feeling like, or back home, because it's
Yeah,
war is not fun. War
yeah,
is
it's
not
not
fun.
fun at all. Yeah, we're gonna get back to the Ukrainian war in a little bit, but coming back to the freedom rallies, L Thomas says here, love to read the signage at freedom rallies. Weekly attendance of 10,000 in Calgary. Really? 2 weeks ago, 40,000? Wow. Is that correct? Wow. If that's really true, that's amazing.
Is that for the freedom
Um,
convoy, like for the
yeah,
truckers,
the
or for the
freedom
Ukrainian?
rallies. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
correct. The freedom
okay,
rallies.
okay.
So, guys, I just want to remind you guys, if anybody wants to come aboard and chat, talk with us, the link is pinned at the top, streamyards.com. Follow the instructions there, and you can come aboard and talk with us, guys. We would like to have you on. That would be
Yeah.
great. Um, Rally happening March 5th in Ottawa, says Rio Pond. Okay, that's interesting. For those who are interested, for the rallies in Ottawa, there will be one happening on the 5th. So Rio Pond says, I will talk. Okay, so let's wait for Rio Pond, see if Rio Pond can connect, and maybe have a couple of word with us. In
Sounds
the
good.
meantime, we're just gonna bring you guys up to date as to what is happening with the Freedom Convoy. Okay, Rio Pond is asking, how do I join? You go to the link up above that is pinned. It says streamyard.com. Here, I'll put it up again on chat. And there it is. Click on, oh, that's not it. Okay. Okay, let me see here. I'm sure you have found it. Steve H says, "Howdy guys, how's it going?" Okay, so invite. All right, so there it is. StreamYard.com/8KMR and so on. Okay, so Rio Pond is waiting here now. Let's get him into the chat room here. Hey. Hello, Rio Pond. How are ya?
How you guys
Rio
doing?
Pond is waiting here now. Let's Excellent. We have a little bit of feedback. Can you please lower the volume there?
Just give me a second here.
Excellent. We have a little bit of feedback. Can you what does that mean? Volume there? Yeah, Rio Pond, do you have any headphones by any chance?
No, I'm just looking at my settings here.
Yeah, Rio Pond, do you have any headphones by any chance?
I don't know.
Delayed.
Just using the computer mic.
Yeah, that's weird because it hasn't happened before. But I think headphones would definitely fix the issue. It hasn't happened before.
It's a little delayed, eh?
Headphones would definitely fix the issue. Yeah, you see now he muted it.
It's a little delayed, eh?
Yeah, sorry, Rio Pond. It's the feedback, eh? Yeah, the headphones will definitely work. Or maybe
Mute it. We'll ask the question, and then you can come back and stay quiet while you share your thoughts. We'll ask the question, and then you can come back and stay quiet.
Okay.
Oh, you got it.
So
But
maybe
if I do it, I can't hear you.
or yeah, maybe if you turn it too low, then you probably won't hear us. So I think that if we or yeah, maybe if you turn it too low, then you probably won't hear us.
It's delayed.
So I think that if we okay, Rio Pond, I think if you turn it too low, I think that if you can turn it down and maybe say what you got to say in regards to the Freedom Convoy, but just turn it down and then see what you got to say and then mute it. In regards to the
Okay, I have it as low as I can.
Okay. Okay, so what is are you in Canada?
I am, yeah. I'm in Waterloo. The Freedom Rally apparently is starting on.
Okay, so what is are you in Canada?
I am, yeah. I'm in Waterloo. The Freedom Rally apparently is starting.
Yeah, it's just the feedback. You can just keep going.
Okay, it's well lagging. The Freedom Rally is starting.
Yeah, it's just the feedback. You can just keep going.
Okay. The Freedom Rally is starting on Saturday, the 5th. It's going for 1 week in Ottawa. Everybody is to meet at Confederation Park. This is going to go on for 12 days, from March the 5th to the 12th. Apparently, the cops can join. The cops know about it. If they're off duty, they're welcome to join, and there's going to be a route set out for everyone.
Gotcha. So this is in Ottawa. Is there anything happening in Waterloo?
Waterloo, I'm not unaware of right now, but the big one is in Ottawa. There's apparently a lot of people coming, from what I understand.
Gotcha. And what do you think of the organizers that are still in jail? What do you think about that?
I think it's horrible. I think it's injustice.
Yeah, I agree. And Caesar, what do you think about that? Pat King, Tamara Lich are still in jail. What do you think about that?
You know, I think it's unfair, and it's misuse of power in a way, because right now, with everything that is happening with the recent news that are coming in, and we're almost, things are starting to change. they should consider letting them continue doing what they're doing, because at the end of the day, I think things are slowly starting to move forward. And yeah, I think they would be a benefit to this movement, if you want to call it that. And instead of having them in prison and causing people to be angry because of that, it would be best for them to be out and about, and then we all move forward together, so that way, we can start step by step getting ahead of this.
Rio Pond, have you ever been to any of the rallies in Ottawa or in Toronto?
I have not yet been to one now because I have not had a chance to get there.
Okay, okay. But you've probably you've kept up with the streams and all that.
Yeah, I have all the streams and all the streamers. I'm well aware of what's going on. Yeah.
Right on, right on. So that's good. That's good. You probably saw the one that that I was in like Windsor and Ottawa. You've seen all of those? I
I've seen them
appreciate that.
all.
Thank you so much.
All of them. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that, Rio Pond.
There's apparently one starting in Winnipeg this weekend at the same time too for a week.
Oh, is that so, eh? Wow. The convoys that are heading to DC in the United States, you are aware that there's quite a few convoys from all over the United States coming to the capital city of the U.S. Did you know about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been paying attention to that as well. Actually, they just arrived in Ohio now, and they're just bunkering down for the night, and they'll be traveling again. I think probably tomorrow.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. Steve H says, I've watched all the streams. Thank you, Steve H. Appreciate that. Guys, we have Life in Living. He has a YouTube channel. Description box below. That's where you'll find the link to his channel. Rio Pond is a guest talking with us at the moment. Rio Pond, do you want to add anything in regards to what's going on in the Ukraine? Are you following those stories?
I have not been able to find any real live streams there. All I see there is people are restreaming, and nothing ever happens. And I've been following it for 6-7 days, and nothing has happened that I've ever seen, other than one flash and a couple of little booms. I don't believe what I'm hearing on mainstream media whatsoever. I think
Right.
it's blown out of proportion, and I think it's mostly lies myself. That's my personal opinion. I haven't seen anything, and I've been following every stream that I could find.
Yeah, I think that in the Ukraine, I mean, like the internet right now is probably down, since so much infrastructure has already been like shelled and destroyed. So definitely streamers will probably be a no-go for a long time in that country. But how about like the images that you're seeing of like a 60-kilometer convoy coming into the capital city? Um, is that concerning? Do you think that Russia is going to pretty much take over?
If you're believing what you're seeing from mainstream media, and we've seen the lies in mainstream media, I mean, can it be believable or not? That's my question.
Yeah.
I'm not confident that what I'm seeing is the truth.
Yeah. Caesar, what about you?
Rio, I have to say that's a very interesting point of view you have there. I don't disagree with you. I think mainstream media has had a lot of flaws in the past, and they definitely haven't been very honest in terms of reporting what is really truly happening. But I'd have to kind of disagree a little bit on the fact that I don't know if they would go as far as to lying about war or the country of Russia invading Ukraine, just because of the monumental effects it would have on the world economy. And I think that's one of the biggest downfalls that we're actually seeing right now. And you could be absolutely right, Rio. I mean, this, for all we know, it could be, but I think the images and the fact that people are leaving, and I think, Mario, you have a buddy who's from Russia, and he was very adamant about what's going on there and the way the government works. Yesterday, I have to say this: I was at a gathering with some friends from church, and one of the ladies there, she was a missionary to Russia. They would look after orphans, and we asked her, like, what was her take on this situation, and how are the Russian people? And she says, they live under this like oppression by the government. Those, like the grandparents, for example, they're very afraid to do anything on their own because of the government that they have. Then their kids are sort of like taking a little step forward, trying to see if the freedom that they're enjoying is real or isn't real. But then their kids are actually embracing it more. And she says that this is definitely something that's happening because they've been trying to send money back to Ukraine, and the governments have just closed it all up. So nobody can send them money, even if you want to send people in Russia money, because the thing is, they're starving. She says there's no middle class. It's either the extremely wealthy or the extreme impoverished. And she says that's something that she's witnessed with her own eyes. And I'm thinking, it's a terrible situation for both countries to be in. But I think we're going to see the effects of this, not just there, but all around the world. And I mean, we're seeing it now with gas prices. I don't know if you saw the gas prices today, but they're ridiculous. And I know that sometimes those people just use any reason to yank up gas prices. I mean, if the summer comes around, they increase the gas prices. I don't know what determines what they should be at, but that's just one of the things that comes to my mind right now. Gas prices. I mean,
Is everybody kind of going through that right now in Canada? The same? We're going through the same thing here. It's the rich and the poor here too. We're going through the same thing.
Yeah. I think the only difference is, like, at least here, there's that opportunity for you to like make some change, right? But in Russia, it's like they don't have that opportunity. It's like you're the lower end. Like somebody can, I'll use my buddy Mario here from the Transporter channel here as an example. I mean, he has his own business, he has his own truck, he's doing really well for himself. I'm not going to say he's uberly rich, but at least he's making a living, providing for his family. So there's that difference. But over there, it's very controlled. It's very few people get to make it. Like, the lady was telling us, she's like, in order for the youth to dress like, like modernly, it literally costs them like 3 or 4 weeks of their wages in order to buy a shirt and a pair of pants. And it's something that they'll wear like for weeks on end. Where here we have the opportunity to change our t-shirts every day if we wanted to for the entire week.
Yeah, that's correct. I was just reading some of the comments here, and they're all over the place, right? Like, people are obviously, some people support Putin and some people support, um, the Ukrainians, right? But someone says here, Sano says, maybe if you knew Ukrainian history, especially from 2014, you will not be so harsh on Putin. Unfortunately, most people did not even know where Ukraine was in the globe till yesterday. You know what? That is true. A lot of people probably, yeah, they don't know the history. If you look at the history of pretty much any war that you investigate on, there is a history to it. And it's so sad though that we're living, that we have to live through these times. And it's not the last time that it will happen. It's just a matter of time when another war will happen. And it totally sucks. It absolutely sucks because there are so many innocent lives that are lost.
Yeah.
I think in the last stream we were saying how Caesar and I we're both we're both people that grew up and escaped a war in El Salvador, and we remember moments as children, like as kids. We saw what was happening out there. We didn't understand it as much, but we
Right.
saw what was happening. And now as an adult, I understand what really went down. And at the end of the day, it's like it's all senseless. It's all for absolutely, no good reason. So yeah, a lot of people do defend Putin here. And what do you have to say about on which side do you stand on, Rio Pond? Just curious.
I don't stand on either side. I don't think war should ever have to be
Correct.
the option for anything. I think there should always be dialogue before any war.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. Just going back to what Caesar was saying about the ultra rich and the impoverished. Um, obviously, we've been hearing in the news about all of the boycotting and all of the sanctions that have been happening towards Russia.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys heard this or not. A yacht, a super yacht, 512 feet long, owned by one of the multi-billionaires in Russia. They call them the oligarchs. This is the first time I've heard of this
Yeah.
phrase, this word oligarchs. But the oligarchs are pretty much, the ultra rich, those tycoons that are pretty much businessmen in Russia. And it is a $600 million super yacht that was seized by Germany. Can you imagine that? Like $600 million just for like a yacht. That's incredible. And then we have people that are, like Caesar said, starving to death. Like we know what living in a third world country is like, and we know what poverty is like. I think that many people here in the United States, Canada, Europe, first world nations, most people have never been through that, or have never even seen what poverty is, you know? I don't know about you, Rio Pan, but have you ever been to, say, like Cuba or to any third world nation? Tell us your thoughts.
No, I have not, and I really have no experience with any kind of what's going on and what might be going on out there. I can only guess and go by what I hear and trust the media, which I don't completely trust either, because there's always two sides to every story. I mean, there's Russia side, there's Ukraine side. I don't know. You would know more about that, being from a third world company, or sorry, country. I'm, no, I have never experienced that.
Caesar?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a tough one, because I put myself in that situation. What you said, Rio, is absolutely correct. Before war, there should be healthy dialogue between the two groups. I think that's super important. That should be the first step that every nation should take before going to war. That being said, listening to a few things and reading a few articles, I was talking to my wife about that, and I said, because according to Putin's side of the story, and I actually asked this question when we went to the Ukrainian consulate to some guys. I don't know if I put it out on the video or not, but I should make a video on that, because I asked them about that. I said, what do you guys think of Putin saying that he's doing this for his own security purposes, because he feels threatened, because he feels like the NATO is enclosing him in, and he has to act now before it's too late, because if he doesn't act now, then they're just going to corner him, and then he's going to be left without the ability to defend himself. And their response to that was, it's all lies. You look at him, he's a madman, and that was their point of view. But I think it's true. We definitely have to hear both sides of the story before you can definitely make a concrete, conclusion and say this is right. But one thing I think we all agree on is war is not the answer. So, and I think that is the reason why President Biden, on his State of the Union speech, really condemned the actions of Putin. And that's why every world leader has been condemning the actions of Putin. And that is why he's being sanctioned. He's being, put in a position where his country is going to be suffering long after this whole situation is done and over with. Justifiable? I have no idea. Only he knows why he's doing it and the purpose and the reason behind it. But I couldn't tell you.
Now let's talk about some of the sanctions and some of the boycotts. Because earlier today, I was hearing the most like craziest boycotts that are coming through through the news now. And when the first boycotts were coming out, like, okay, the Russian vodka is coming off the shelves here in the LCBOs, the Liquor Control Board of Ontario stores. Um, the flights from Russia, et cetera, et cetera. But now I've been hearing, I heard of some Russian kids, 16 and 17-year-olds, that won't be drafted into the CHL, the CHL being the Canadian Hockey League. The CHL serves as like the farm teams for the NHL. And what do you guys think about that? 16 and 17-year-old Russian-born kids are not being drafted. What do you guys think about that, Caesar?
It's absolutely stupid and childish, to be honest with you, because these kids have nothing to do with what's going on over there, and they shouldn't be paying the price for something that, some people decided was the best course of action to take. They're in a totally different country. They have nothing to do with what's going on over there. I don't think it's right.
Rio, do you have anything to say about that?
I think if there's going to be sanctions, it shouldn't be on the people of Russia, because the people of Russia is not the ones that are causing this. It's the government that has decided to do this, and I don't think the actual people should be penalized for what their government does.
Appreciate that, Rio. Rio, thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna go ahead and get somebody else here. I appreciate you coming aboard, Rio. Thank you for your thoughts. And we'll probably see you next in the next stream.
Thanks a lot, Rio. I'm very close to where you are. I actually live in Stratford, Ontario.
Well, you're close, yeah.
Fairly close, yeah. Have a good one. Pleasure, man.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So we have another viewer here. Siren. What's going on, Siren? How you doing, my friend?
Good.
Siren has been a longtime viewer of mine. As a matter of fact, Siren won a couple, maybe once, I think you won, Siren. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, Siren won a I've been doing some giveaways here before all of this Freedom Convoy thing exploded, and I think
Yeah,
Siren won once.
Yeah, it's actually amazing, like the protests and stuff.
It's crazy things, eh, Siren?
Yeah.
Hey, Siren, what do you think about everything that's been happening in Russia and Ukraine? What do you think about that?
The world is paying a price for that, So I think that's where you got to look, is it'll ultimately cost the world, like, the countries. So that will lead to some economic problems, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at gas prices. It's incredible. It's ridiculous
Yeah,
how expensive gas prices. We're talking about double the amount of what it used to cost a year ago. A year ago when the cost of crude was pretty much close to zero, and I think even at one point the cost of crude, the barrel, was a -$5. Uh, all of all of these all of the crude that was sitting in barrels in large ship containers, there was no way to take them off the ships and bring them aboard.
yeah,
Um, and the prices went into the negative, and here we were paying dirt cheap for gasoline. And now it's more than double the price for gasoline. It's insane. Let's talk about some more of the boycotts. You're a gamer, Siren. So EA Sports, Electronic Arts, the video game maker, is removing the Russian teams from its video games, like soccer games, hockey games. It's removing the Russian teams, the Russian players from its video games. What do you think about that, Siren?
I think that's ultimately a good move.
Caesar, what do you think about that? Is that extreme?
See, I think for all to pay the price for one, I think is a little bit harsh. I understand maybe why they want to do it, and it's because they're trying to slowly choke the Russian economy. So I understand that because the minute you take off these teams from these video games, you stop paying the teams, you stop paying the players. That then
True.
trickles down to crashing their economy, really hindering where their money is going to be coming in from. The unfortunate part is that these players and these people probably have nothing to do with what's going on with the war. So in that sense, yeah, it's a tough call for me to really say whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, because at the end of the day, yeah, anything that goes into that country is supporting the country. But it's unfortunate that innocent people are paying for those who are to blame.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. CCM, the hockey apparel maker, like the hockey equipment maker, jersey maker, is gonna stop to use the Russian players in its global marketing campaigns. The biggest Russian player I can think of is Alexander Ovechkin that plays for the Washington Capitals. He has been he has been seen hanging out with Putin a lot, here and there. I believe he's a supporter. Let's not forget that he is Russian born. He does have family in Russia, and he's been asked many times about what is going on with the Ukraine thing. Do you think it's fair for a hockey player, a professional hockey player, to be asked those questions? What do you think, Siren? Do you think they should ask those questions to a hockey player?
No, I don't think they should ask those questions to a hockey player.
Caesar?
Uh, when you're in front of a camera, when you're an influencer of any sort or a media personnel, you're going to be thrown whatever is currently happening. And because he is of Russian descent, he is going to be asked those questions. Should they? Maybe not. But I think it sparks interest in people, because I myself, for one, when this whole situation started to happen, I actually Googled, I'm a big fan of MMA. So I actually Googled Habib Nurmagomedov, because he's technically Russian, but he's from, where is he?
Chechnya.
Yeah,
Chechnya.
yeah, he's from there. So I thought, let me see what his take is on it. It's of interest. I think we want to know what they think about their own leaders, and in some way that is going to give us a little bit of insight on who they are as an individual. Because I have seen Habib Nurmagomedov shaking hands with Putin. Is he a full-on supporter? I don't know. I don't even think he would answer those questions, because he just wouldn't think it would benefit him in any way, shape, or form.
No, of course not. And I think the most he has said is that he wants there to be peace. That's all. That's all he's pretty much answered.
Really? Okay.
Obviously, not to get too much into
Yeah,
detail,
no.
right?
Which is the smartest thing to do, I think, because at the
But
end of the
see,
day, that's not what you want.
yeah, of course. But CCM has will stop using the image of any Russian player, including that of Alexander Ovechkin. Now, they haven't said that they're going to terminate his contract with CCM. Obviously, they can't do that. It's a breach of contract. I'm sure they're still going to pay him. But the list of boycotts are endless here, guys. And I just wrote down what the most interesting ones that I found. The Olympic Committee for the Paralympic Games, the Paralympic Games that are about to take place in, I can't remember the city, guys, in China. Beijing. Was it Beijing?
Yeah.
They first said, okay, Paralympic athletes from Russia can participate. They can participate as long as they are neutral and they don't participate under the Russian flag. Now they have overturned that literally one day before the Paralympic Games begin. They have said you're not allowed, you're not welcome into the Paralympic Games. What do you think about that, Siren? Is that fair to those athletes?
I don't think that's fair to those athletes.
Caesar?
No. Why do you think it's not fair, Siren? Sorry. Just your point of view on it.
Because they should not be accused.
Right. Fair enough. I agree with you on that. I think it's important that they don't pay the price for what's happening. And yeah, I agree 100%.
For me, if anything, they should have been given at least more of a heads up, not a day before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They should have been told months ago, because if you really think about it, these athletes, man, they give their lives, they give their time away from family, away from work. They invest their own money to be in the Olympics in the hopes of making it big. And, just to be told you're not allowed to be here, not even as a neutral, one day before the whole event starts. I mean, like, oh my goodness, can you imagine the devastation that they're feeling? And again, you guys have said it. It's all because of what their leaders are doing.
Yeah.
It's a sad thing, that it's come to that. But going through the list here, the Grand Prix has been canceled in Russia. The FIFA and the UEFA have canceled events in Russia, including the Champions League final that was to be held in St. Petersburg.
See, that I can agree with. That I can definitely agree with. Anything that's happening outside of Russia, like currently is a little bit harder to, you know, swallow, like the Paralympic team, for example. But everything else that's like events that are going to happen in the future in Russia, I can sort of say I see why they're doing it. You know what I mean? Because they're trying to teach them a lesson in some way, and you know, why go to a country that clearly dialogue is not in their vocabulary.
Google channels. Siren, you're also a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Sorry, YouTube channels. Google has announced that they will be demonetizing YouTube channels from Russia. We're talking about channels like your and Life and Living and my channels are going to be demonetized in Russia. How would you feel about that, Siren? If they told you, sorry, your country is doing something bad, we're demonetizing you. What do you
I would
think?
be okay with that, you know,
Wow,
because it is what it is, you know. So I would be okay with that.
You would be okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
interesting.
Interesting.
Yo,
Caesar from
Siren,
Life and Living. What do you
I,
think about that?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Siren. That totally caught me off guard. Can I ask you why you would be okay with it? I understand you said because it is what it is, but what's like what are your thoughts behind saying that?
Because it's
Like what justifies it to you? Why would that be? Why would something that your country or your leader is doing, why should that affect where your um where your finances come from, or your daily living, your provisions come from?
I don't know.
Because that's what I think of, right? Like I'm thinking, wow, he's okay with somebody taking his livelihood. Let's say, let's put it this way, Siren. You are a very famous YouTuber, and I don't doubt that you are. I'm sure you're a great gamer, and you're making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month in a country where that is very hard to make. All right, Siren,
Yeah.
you've been making this for over 10 years, let's say. 10 years. You've been consistently making, you have your little YouTube plaque in the back, boom, you're all golden, you're living life, you're enjoying it. And then all of a sudden your leaders do something and YouTube says, "Great. This is the perfect moment to demonetize Siren. Let's do it." You would be 100% okay with that.
Yeah, I would be okay with that.
Okay. Okay. And do you know why you would be okay with that?
Because it is what it is, and like
I love that.
uh, and like I think you cannot really control it, you know.
Damn, Siren, you don't cease to amaze me, bro. That is that's great perspective, I have to say, and the positivity in that is great. And I think that's a lesson to learn for all of us, man. That sometimes things happen, and when things happen, what else can you do, right? Life goes
Yeah.
on. What would you move on to do from there? Hypothetically, obviously, right?
Yeah.
What do you think
Then
you
I
would
would
do?
just move on.
Move on. All right. Interesting. Great take. Thank you. Thank you for that, Siren.
Okay, guys. So we have another guest here. Um, this guest, man, I was
Okay,
pleading
guys. So we
with this guest to come on board. Um, I don't know if you can hear us. Arkady, can you hear us?
uh not really. I try to fix it, but not now.
Thank you, Siren, for
Hello.
being here. Okay, Siren, thank you so much, my friend.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We'll see you again.
Sorry.
Okay, Arkady. Arkady is a really good friend of mine, and he's also a YouTuber. You guys have to check out his channel. where Arkady is a videographer. He loves to take some amazing shots of of where he visits, and he takes some videos and he uploads them on YouTube, and he makes some great content. So I've posted the link on the chat right now, youtube.com user/ARK0045. That is his channel. So Arkady, I just want to start by saying Arkady is Russian born. He is born in Russia, and man, I loved hearing everything that he has to say about Russia. And joining me right now as well is Caesar from Life and Living. His channel is in the box below. After we end this,
another day.
after we end this broadcast, I will leave Arcady's channel in the box below as well. So go ahead and subscribe to these guys. These guys are really amazing dudes. Um, Arkady, so thank you for joining us. Can you hear us?
It's very low. I can't fix it now. I don't know what exactly is my phone. I'm trying to, but I hear something. I hear something.
Okay. Arkady, what do you have what do you first of all, what is your take on everything that is happening in the Ukraine by Russia? What do you think about all that?
Uh, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay. First of all, it's already 8 days since Russia started the war in Ukraine. And all these days, I can't believe what is going on right now. I can't believe now that people are dying in Ukraine, soldiers dying in both sides. It's just like nightmare.
Yes.
So it's very hard to understand the reason, but that's what I see. It's every day I see the news. I see many bloggers, videographers, and YouTubers from Russia, from
From Russia.
Ukraine, and most of them they are. It's just heartbreaking, you know. It's just heartbreaking.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the amount of death at the moment, if I remember correctly, they were even saying that Russian soldiers are dying at a rate of about 1,000 per day. Is that correct, Arkady?
The official saying it's about if I'm right, it's 489, something like that. But Ukrainian side pronounce it totally different numbers. It's now it's more than 5,000 deaths
Wow.
from the Russian side,
From the
and
Russian side,
over
yes.
2,000 civilians died in Ukraine.
Oh my goodness. Now, do you have family in Russia?
In Russia, my wife has a sister. So, yeah, we didn't talk about it so much because she's listening to the official news, official TV channels, and she's, let's say, on the Russian official side. So it's very hard topic for us. So we decided not to talk about the politics at all.
Wow. And
And what else I want to say? My wife, she has relatives in Ukraine, and we have friends from Ukraine, and so we directly we didn't try to talk to them because it's very hard to reach. And but we know we have also friends who lives in Canada here. So they are in contact with relatives in Ukraine. So the situation is hard. It's very hard. So it affects everybody there.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, are those family members and friends that are in the Ukraine, are they like moving westward towards Poland and Romania? Are they moving westward or are they staying put where they are?
I'm not sure right now, but what I know about my friend from my coworker. So his family, his brother with kids, and his parents also. They live in Kiev, in capital city of Ukraine, and now they still in the city. And they said it's very hard to get to just going somewhere because the regular transportation is not working, and the car is it's possible, but the road is very dangerous right now, and they decided to stay. They don't want to leave their house. They don't want to leave their land, so they are still there. But every night, I know they stay in the subway because the subway in Kiev is very low underground, so it's
Underground,
very
yeah.
safe place where to stay from bombing. So they spend every night in the subway.
Oh my goodness. I can only imagine how horrible that must be, you know? Um, Arkady, let's talk about your history with Russia. When was the last time you visited Russia?
Oh, 30 years ago, almost 30 years
30
ago.
years
So
ago.
uh, since I left Russia, I never visited again. My wife, she was there about 10 years ago when her mother died, and she she has to go for the funeral. And yeah, but she said as soon as she landed in Moscow, she want to go back to Canada.
Oh, okay. So I got a question here from a viewer. He was just with us earlier. The viewer Rio Pond is asking, do you believe that Putin wants to harm Ukrainian people, or do you believe that Putin has another goal to take over Ukraine's government with minimal loss?
I'm sorry, I can't hear the question because it's very low volume.
Yeah,
I can't fix it, but if you can repeat it again.
it says on the screen here, do you believe that Putin wants to harm the Ukrainian people? Or do you believe that Putin wants another goal, like to put another government in the Ukraine?
So,
So really, there's two questions. Do you think?
so basically, he wants. I strongly believe he wants the
It,
Ukraine part of Russia.
we can't
Hello.
hear you, Arkady.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah, the microphone's blocked.
okay. Can I leave you for a second? I try to get on my computer and
No
start talking
problem.
from the computer.
Yeah,
It's maybe
no
better.
problem. Yeah, we'll be here.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem, Arkady.
Rio Pond, I have to say those are great questions.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
question.
We'll leave that on. Um, I just want to update you guys on one thing. There is a restaurant. I don't know if you heard of this, Caesar, but there's a restaurant in Quebec City. You know how in Quebec the poutine is famous, right? Like
Right.
it's famous all over Canada. At least here in Southern Ontario, it's
Right.
pretty famous. So poutine, for those who don't know, is a very famous Canadian dish. It's just basically fries, cheese curds, and gravy. That's all it is, and it's really good. Whoever comes to Canada, you guys got to try it. A poutine. But this
Don't
restaurant,
tell me. I already see what's coming.
this restaurant is changing the name of the poutine
Oh gosh.
because in Quebec, how they pronounce it in French is the poutine, right? Poutine. So it sounds too similar to Putin. So they're changing the name to guess what? What do you think they're changing the name to?
Cheesy fries
They're
with
just changing it to fries, cheese, and gravy.
wow. Oh, that's brilliant.
Man.
That's brilliant. Petty but
Yeah,
brilliant.
that's yeah, fries, gravy and cheese, says Rio Pond.
Wow. Oh, that's crazy.
That is so crazy. And you know what? Talking about poutines right now, it's making me really want like have one, like making me want to have one right now with a beer. Oh my goodness, that would be so good right now.
Yeah, you got to make sure you work out after that. Clog your
Oh, I
arteries.
know, I know. Guys, joining me right now is Caesar from Life and Living. Uh, his channel is in the description box below. Um, subscribe to his channel. Also, in the description box below is my travel channel called Nahum the Mayhem. That is me. That is my channel where I visit different places here in Canada, like here in the region. I visit El Salvador. I visit Cuba, Dominican, Mexico, many others. And joining us also, he's trying to get on his computer, is my friend. He is Russian and a really good friend of mine that I've known for 11 years or so. I met him while I was working in my first trucking job. Arkady was actually one of my mentors there. He pretty much taught me the ins and outs of the trucking industry. So he's trying to get connected right now, and we'll see if we can have him on in a few minutes. So I appreciate everybody joining us at the moment. We're just talking about what's going on in the Ukraine by the Russian invasion, and we're also talking about, well, earlier on we talked about the Freedom Convoy and what happened, this past weekend and what's been happening lately. As far as I know, as Rio Pond was saying, there will be a march or a convoy this coming weekend in Ottawa, and here in Toronto, there's every Saturday they're holding marches starting from the Queen's Park. So I will be live this Saturday as well, out of Queen's Park, and hopefully you guys can join us. So, guys, for those of you who have a question for my Russian friend, write it down in the description box, or sorry, in the comment box there, and we'll ask him away. Any questions that you guys may have from Arkady. He's a Russian born. He's a person that was born in Russia, so he has a lot to say about Putin. Believe me, Putin, Putin. I don't even know how to pronounce his name anymore.
Putin.
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 You know what?
Vladimir Putin.
Funny enough, Putin, if you pronounce it in Spanish,
Yeah, Putin.
I think you Spanish speakers know where I'm going with this, but if you okay, so there's a bad word. If you spell Puto, sorry, I'm just reading a comment. If you I'm sure you guys have heard that in movies and stuff, and if you guys say Putin in Spanish, that's like a small version of Puto.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a male prostitute. That's what it means.
Wow.
Putin. Okay, so Arcady's here now. Let's see if he can join us right now. Can you hear us, Arcady?
Yes, I can.
Okay, okay, we can hear you. Perfect. So Rio Pond was asking, do you believe that Putin wants to harm the Ukrainian people, or does he, or do you believe that another goal, there's another goal, and that is to take over the Ukrainian government? What do you think his goal is?
So the Putin, I think he is trying to take over Ukraine and make Ukraine be a part of Russia. So that's why if you, I don't know if you know, if you listen his speech just few days before the war,
I heard some of it.
he was saying, yeah, he was saying about the history mostly. So and he
Yes,
said the Russia, the Ukraine was always the part of Russia. It's not such a country as Ukraine. So he was saying he said Ukraine becomes a part of the republic, let's say part independent or part of Russian Soviet Union as a republic just after the after revolution in 1917. So the basically the communists make this part like independent republic joining the Soviet Union. So before that, it was part of Russian Empire. So it's right, but it's a history, right? So and
yeah,
if you read about any country, they change from the time war to war. They change the borders, they change the territories,
that's right.
and like Germany and Austria, it was one country before,
Right.
but now it's a different country, and it's there's no problem with that, right? So, and still, if you know, that some parts of Russia used to be German or Polish.
Mm.
So, but
Is
the
that correct?
Poland or Germany never says, "Oh, give us this territory back."
Right.
So you have to get it as as already happened, and Russia, when the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, so all the former Russian Soviet Union republics, which are now independent countries, they signed the agreement about the borders. So now somehow the Putin decide, oh, he remembered it was part of empire, so he wants it back, but he's totally wrong, in my opinion.
Right on. Um, yeah, I heard his speech. He was also saying because he wants to definitely um he wants to give his reasons as to why he's doing this, and he goes on to explain how the United States, took the war to Iraq to bomb Iraq, he goes on to say, okay, let's look at the United States history. Uh, where did Texas belong before? Or I think he said New Mexico as well. Where did it belong? Didn't it belong to Mexico? And he's trying to give his reasons
Yeah,
as
he said
to
the part of
right.
California was a Mexican territory. Yeah, but now Mexico, it doesn't try to take it back, right? Or
No.
not because of the United States is the biggest player in the world and the biggest, it has the biggest army, just because everybody has to be agreed with what is going now, what is they have, and they build the country according to now you'll see you can see the all the countries now they united somehow they connected economically, right? So United States build their cars in the Mexico, so in Canada, and we part of the global economy. But what is Russia is doing right now, they destroying this this peace and this economical alliance in the world. So that's what's going on.
Yeah, but do you think that if we were living in the time when, let's say, the United States was trying to take over New Mexico and all that, you know, wouldn't we be thinking the same thing that we are now? That, you know what, it's part of like the Mexican history. This area belongs to us. Why are they trying to take it? Like, you don't like, because he's clearly trying to build a story, right? He's trying to justify why he's doing it. And I think it's it's hard to pinpoint his exact reason. And I think when he is saying that, he is saying that because obviously he wants to justify his actions. Because obviously he wants, like you said, he wants to build an empire, but he wants to show the world that he's not the only one that's done this in the past or in history. Like, this isn't nothing new. This other countries have done the exact same thing in order to get to where they are today.
Probably, yeah, he's trying to show that he's not alone.
Exactly.
But it's all the examples. It's history. It's already the
Right.
history, and now we can go back. If we try to change our territories, any country, they have to fight to each other. And it's impossible, right? So Russia is supposed to give back some territory which they have right now, like Kaliningrad. You know, this all this area used to be German. I was in that city and I saw the swastikas on the sewage, the sewage, because it was built in during the Nazi was ruling in Germany. So, but this is Soviet territory right now. Nobody saying it's not belong to Russia. Yeah. So anyway, so he's trying to change the history. He's trying to make an excuse what he's doing right now because of other countries doing the same thing. But I don't want to talk now about Iraq or what happened in Afghanistan right now. Afghanistan is a poor country which already was occupied by Russians and now Americans. And after all these years, they have a crisis there. They have a humanity crisis. So that's what they're facing.
Yeah, that's interesting. That is so true. People tend to forget, but yeah, Afghanistan did suffer a great attack by the Russians. And you know what? There was another country, Georgia, as well. that
Exactly.
now, okay, let me ask you something, Arkady. What did they accomplish in Georgia? What did the Russians accomplish in Georgia? What was their motive there?
Oh, uh, the same thing, and like in Ukraine, the Crimea, and also the Donetsk and Lugansk, these two areas where the population mostly Russian-speaking people. So, as an excuse to help to Russians living in this country, and in Georgia, that was an area where many Russian-speaking people also live. They live everywhere. If you know now about check the population in Kazakhstan or Belarus or even the countries now they join the NATO, they join the European Union, like
Estonia,
Estonia, big Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, they have a big population of Russian-speaking people there too.
right?
So the, the the multicultural country like United States, Canada, and Russia, it's also a multicultural country. So they have in their population lots of small nations who live
Mm.
there. So they when the peace, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when the people live together and peacefully, right? So in Ukraine was the same thing, but it was a big excuse for Putin and his government to like protecting those people. He tried to go to just put the history upside down and put history back.
Now,
Sorry, I have a question. So, what do you think about Putin saying that what he's doing in self-defense?
But he's doing, sorry?
He's doing it in self-defense. Like he feels like he's protecting himself.
Self-defense. But look, it's simple. So, in my opinion, who started the war? Who entered to what country?
Right.
So it's the answer is simple. The Russia start bombing Ukraine, and they send the troops, the army to Ukrainian territory. That's
Right.
all. So who is who?
But his take is that he feels like he was being surrounded by NATO, and that if Ukraine became a part of it, that he was going to feel like he was going to be boxed in almost, and like they were going to, maybe try to get rid of him
Yeah.
or do whatever.
Yeah, definitely he didn't want to be NATO be just behind his border, right? But I understand that. But listen, if you when the Soviet Union collapsed, Ukraine pronounced to be independent country, they give all the nuclear weapon to Russia. They don't have it. They had part of nuclear weapon in Ukraine because Ukraine has a border with west with the European countries like Poland, Germany, and so on. So they had a nuclear weapon located in Ukraine, but Ukraine never won it. They returned all the weapons to Russia. So for Russia, Ukraine is it's also just an excuse to invade.
Okay.
now somebody's asking here, Rio Pond, do you believe that the Ukrainian government is corrupt?
I'm telling you the truth is corruption. It's presented in all former Soviet Union countries.
Yeah.
The corruption is in Georgia, corruption in Moldova, corruption in Russia, corruption in
Everywhere.
Ukraine, everywhere. It's not
Who are we
only
kidding? Yeah.
former Soviet. Oh yeah. So of course it's a problem for Ukraine also. Of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I believe
corruption.
it too.
You know the difference between Russia corruption and Ukrainian corruption is the Russia, the all oligarchs is the most rich people.
Right.
They close friends to Putin,
Yeah.
and in Ukraine they trying to let's say they reduce their corruption. They trying to be. That's why they want to be a part of European Union. They trying to change the country for better. But in Russia, if you check, I'm watching the one channel on YouTube. It if you did you hear about the Navalny? Who is this?
I've heard of Navalny, yes. Do you want to explain who Navalny is for those who don't know
Yeah,
who he is?
he's basically the opposition leader. Now he's in prison in Russia.
They tried to kill him.
They tried to kill him. He was
Poison.
the Russian government they poisoned it with a Novichok. It is a Russian chemical weapon, basically,
Wow.
right? Yeah, and he survived. He survived, and his family and his friends, they took him to Germany. They escaped to Germany, basically, and he recovered in Germany, and he decided to come back to Russia because he has some ambitions to be a leader of opposition in Russia, and he actually could. But if you check now the any opposition leaders in Russia, they are killed or they in jail right now.
Yeah.
So and Navalny, as soon as he come back to Russia, he was arrested right in airport, and they put into prison. And he is already. It happened a year ago in January 2021. He is already more than 1 year in the prison.
In prison.
So,
Wow.
but his team is they're still working, but not in Russia. They can't. They now located in different countries in Estonia, Georgia. So, and they keep working to show the people how deep the corruption in Russia. So they have some investigation, very interesting investigation, and they show how much property, how much money the government of Russia has outside of
Really
Russia.
has. Yeah. I think he
So
showed a video of a drone that was overflying. Was it one of his mansions? And
yes, yes,
they saw for like the first time how immense that mansion was.
Yeah.
yeah, it's the biggest, I guess, in the world. So it's a
Unbelievable.
huge territory. Yeah, it has underground the hockey rink, and they have a winery. They have everything.
But it's not his
So
money.
the
Apparently,
money, you know, the power in Russia means money.
right. But
Yeah.
it's all his oligarchs that have like donated money or given
Oh,
money
of
to
course.
him.
Oh, of course it is.
That's
Yeah.
correct. Oh yeah.
All of these oligarchs are
Yeah.
handing in money like it's raining in the middle of a rainstorm.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking here, Linda Brick is asking, do you think Putin is trying to rebuild the old Soviet Union with these invasions?
It's kind of, yes. I think that's he wanna be the like person who brought back the whole Russian Empire back and in territory. So that's what he's trying to do then. That's, I think.
Arkady, I also have one question for you. This is a question from me, and I heard it on the radio the other day, and I thought, you know what, that could be a possibility. Do you think that Putin is losing his marbles? Do you think he's going crazy? Like,
Yeah,
I'm talking
you
about
know, it's
literally.
from his from his last interviews, the last speeches. It looks like
Do you
because
think so?
uh, possibly because he was saying about his answer to the West for to the any country who will try help Ukraine to resist. So and in his his voice was rising and it looks like he's just losing his mind. I don't know.
Because I'm sure you've heard of like a lot of his speeches throughout the years and throughout the decades, and you probably see that you do see the difference, of how he's speaking and
Yeah,
behaving.
yeah, yeah. First of all, the any person who is in power of so many years,
Yeah.
it's like losing the not mind, but it's he's losing like a sense of reality. He's losing like he's totally live in different world. He doesn't understand what how the his people live, right? That's what I think. So it's any dictator in the world, any uh, person who in the power so many years. Look at the Lukashenko. Look at in Belarus, right? Or if you look in North Korea, the same thing.
Yeah,
The-
I think so too. Now, let me ask you about the collateral damage that the Russian people are taking because of all of this. You know that there has been a ton of sanctions, like, bank accounts are being frozen, you know, methods of sending money are not available. Um, there are boycotts, like Russian vodka not being sold here, and like at least in this country, and I think I've heard in the United States as well. Um, I don't know about you, but do you drink Russian vodka?
No, no, I never drank the Russian vodka.
Okay, but um, I was asking this earlier to Caesar and another viewer that was talking with us. Boycotts like 16 and 17-year-old kids that won't be drafted into the CHL, which is pretty much a footstep to go into the NHL. Russian-born players that usually make it to the NHL if they're really good. Do you think that not drafting these kids is a right thing to do?
Be honest, I didn't hear about the NHL players who has their Russian roots withdrawn from the teams. I think they keep playing there, keep.
Well, no, in the NHL level, yes, they still do play. No,
Yeah.
I meant the 16, 17-year-old kids that are
Oh, they're.
moving up in the ranks. Um, in the CHL, they have announced that they will not be drafting Russian-born players. So these are kids that are moving up towards the NHL. Do you think that it is okay to boycott these kids that are just 16, 17-year-olds? Do you think that it's okay push them away and say you're not going to play here in the CHL?
Um, no, I don't think it's a good idea. And also, I feel very sorry about all sports people who are in big sport, in Olympic teams and any other sport. They are suffering now because of the sanctions against Russia, against Putin. So it's bad, it's bad. But not too many other things the Western world, Europe, United States can do about how to stop Putin, how to stop this invasion, how to stop the war. So, and they trying to any possible steps to stop. That's what is happening right now. So the sanction is a good thing, but I feel sorry about the regular people who live in Russia, who is now supposed to suffer. They can't fly to visit their friends in the States or in Europe. They can't go to just as a tourist going somewhere in Europe. So it's bad. It's everybody. Uh, it's for any for Europe for also it's bad because they not getting the money from tourists and
That's right.
from visitors, so it's affect everybody, and I think we're gonna feel it sooner or later also because United States and Canada we have lots of contacts, we have lots of business, lots of travels back and forth. So we're gonna feel all the sanctions also. So, but I don't see any other possibilities how to stop this war.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the Olympic Committee, just today they announced that in the Paralympic Games, any Russian or Belarusian athletes will not be allowed to participate. Which to me, it's a little sad to do that. When these
It's sad.
athletes have been they've been training. They've thrown it all out there to be there in these Olympic Games. And then one day before the Paralympic Games, they said no Russians, even as neutrals. They're not allowed there. It's very sad. But Arkady, last question before we call it a night. What do you think about, say, Alexander Ovechkin? I'm pretty sure you know who he is. CCM, they're going to say no more Alexander Ovechkin in in the marketing campaigns. What do you think about that? He's a multimillionaire, but what do you think about Alexander Ovechkin being kicked out of the CCM
Um,
marketing?
uh, I didn't know that, but what I saw in the news, he posts somewhere in social media about he's against the war. But everybody knows, and so in his profile also shown the picture. He's standing just beside Putin.
Right.
So yeah, I'm not sure how it's he in real life how what he thinks about it, but I think it's CCM uh, stop doing the business with him. It's not gonna be affect too much
Yeah,
his
I think so too. I think
Ovechkin.
so too.
So
But
he will be
okay, but
okay.
do you agree that if he does speak against Putin, do you agree that his family is in danger in Russia?
I'm not sure where his family lives.
Apparently,
Uh,
they are in Russia.
yeah.
Apparently, he in the off seasons he does go back to Russia.
Maybe because many people who actually can try to say something against the Putin, putting in risk their families who is in Russia.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
for
I think
sure.
so. Guys, we have been chatting with my friend Arkady. I just posted his channel, YouTube channel, youtube.com/user/ARK0045. That is him. The link is on the chat. I will leave it in the description box below once I finish this video. Caesar from Life and Living, his channel's in the description box below. Thank you guys for watching. My other channel, Nayam the Mayam, is also in the description box below. And gentlemen, thank you so much. Arkady, thank you so much for joining us. Caesar, you have
Thank
any
you.
final thoughts?
Final thoughts? No, I wanted to ask her, Katie, one last thing.
Sure, ask him.
What do you think? What do you think would? Or what do you think would satisfy Putin? Like, what do you think he wants, or what do you think would stop this war? Or do you think nothing is going to stop this war? He's just going to go like a madman and just take whatever he wants.
It can probably some things that can stop him, but it can stop in it's actually if satisfy him. Let's say if the new government in Ukraine gonna be if they come to power and they gonna be listen everything that Russia says. So, but the biggest problem here in invasion Ukraine, the people who lost their lives, who lost families, who lost their houses, so whose life now completely changed. So they never be satisfied with, never be friends with Russia. That's for sure. I think that generation and generation we're gonna think about it. They're gonna remember that.
So we're in a bit of a pickle then. It's a tough situation to be in.
It's very tough, very tough.
Because I mean, they want to have talks, but one arm has to, and the other arm has to a little bit, right? But if nobody wants to give arm, then it's hard to come up with a solution, right?
That's right. That's right.
Arkady,
it's already
thank you so much,
it's
man.
only 7 or 8 days in invasion, but it's already it's already they come too far. It's very hard to you never can return the situation back.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like we're at that point of no return, right? Because if he returns now, then everybody's gonna say, "Oh, see, he couldn't do it," and then his pride crushed, and then release everything I have and get rid of everybody. And if they say, "Okay, come," then he say, "Oh, you see, I did it," and then everybody else pissed off because he did it.
Yeah.
I would hate to be a politician at this day and age. I'll tell you that much.
That is true. That is true.
Gosh, I don't know.
So guys, sub to Arkady. I just posted his channel. I think he already has 2 or 3 new subscribers. Arkady,
thank you.
Life and Living, Caesar. I'm sure you have a good couple subscribers as well, and I think I lost subscribers.
Nah, you gained wisdom from listening to Arkady. I did.
Yeah, no, Arkady's a really good guy. I told you guys.
It shouldn't be the last time we have this together, man. I think we should do it again.
Yeah, we'll probably do it again in a couple of weeks or so to see how much this whole thing has advanced, and we're gonna have to pay Arkady next time, I think. He's so full of knowledge with this whole topic. So, guys, thank you so much, for your presence here. Arkady, I'll probably call you tomorrow, and we'll keep talking about the Russian.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Caesar?
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much. Subscribe, guys. These guys are the greatest. All right, Caesar, any final words?
Nope, that's it. Thank you guys for everything. Great night, and we'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. We'll end this live stream right now. And you guys, thank you for joining me in this live broadcast where we had these great, amazing gentlemen talk in this channel. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night, guys. We'll see you guys in the next live stream. Take care.